Let's start with creation. On day 1, God created day and night. On day 3, He created sun and moon. So the 24-hour day and night, the time taken for the earth to rotate on its axis, was created before the creation of sun and moon. So we can assume that the concept of time at the time of creation was different from the concept of time today. On day 6, God created man as male and female and named him Adam. At that time, he was both father and mother to Adam. And later on, he found Adam to be lonely, and he took out the rib or the femininity out of Adam, and he created Eve. The God who is perfect wanted his creations also to be perfect. But we can see from the Bible that they succumb to temptations. When Adam and Eve succumbed to temptations, God cursed Eve, and he told her to conceive and to bring forth children in labor. Though he had blessed the initial man, the male and female combined one, to be fruitful and to multiply, this male and female separated. This Adam and Eve, they separated once to reproduce and to multiply. That was not the initial plan. That ability to reproduce was to be incorporated in the male and female after they were separated. Eve was the first one on whom God incorporated the ability to reproduce. And the Spirit of God shadowed on her, and she conceived Cain. And she said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Remember, it was not from Adam she got Cain, it was from the Lord. So Cain was the child of God, not the son of Adam as we think. And likewise Abel also. And then the ability to reproduce was incorporated in Adam, and he fathered Seth. Chapter 5 of the book of Genesis says that this is the book of generations of Adam. And then the name of Cain, both Cain and Abel are missing in it. The book of generations of Adam starts with Seth. Now Cain and Abel had to find spouses. So God had to create another group, the children of God, in another place, so that these two could find their spouses. And then Cain succumbed to jealousiness, and he killed Abel, and he ran away from that place. Once the ability to procreate was successfully incorporated in Adam, we saw that he fathered Seth, and afterwards he had many sons and daughters. And these sons and daughters found the spouses from the second group, the children of God. And these children of God were created with the sole purpose of supporting the children of man, which were the sons and daughters of Adam. The ability to procreate was to be incorporated in Seth, and God did that by the time Seth was 105 years old, when he fathered Enos. And then Enos fathered Cainan when he was 90 years old. All these works were done directly by God. And after some generations, God wanted to delegate this duty of incorporating the ability to procreate to his subordinate forces. And that happened at the time of Enoch. Enoch walked with God, and then he just disappeared from the face of earth. He was taken in his body so that the forces, the subordinate forces, could study the human body and they learned how to make the necessary changes. Now the children of God, which were supposed to support the children of man, they started finding the woman of man beautiful, and they started taking them as their spouses. So the reverse started happening, and the mind of man was filled with evilness from the beginning. And God was pretty sad. He was heartbroken that he created man. This was getting difficult to manage, all this developing the ability to procreate. And then managing these people filled with evilness and sin. There was no need to let man live for 800 or 900 years to understand whether he was good or not. So God decided to reduce the lifespan of man to 120 years. So two changes had to be made. One, the lifespan had to be reduced, and the ability to procreate was to be an inborn ability in man. Instead of making these changes in all the people alive on earth, what he could do was to make the changes in a couple of pairs and then destroy the rest and repopulate the world. Now we are coming to the story of Noah. Why mankind was destroyed at that time? Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, their spouses, and 2 each of all the creatures on earth were made to live in an ark for some time. All the changes were made. The rest of the population, entire population, were destroyed. And when the change creations came out of the ark, God was so happy that he blessed man, this male and female separated, to be fruitful and to multiply. He made a covenant with them that he won't destroy mankind again with water. He set the rainbow as a sign of his covenant. And we can say that this was version 2 of mankind. The new man was born on earth. The Spirit of God had to actively involve to make the man complete even after the floods of Noah. Noah's son Shem fathered Arphaxad 2 years after the floods at the age of 100, and Arphaxad fathered Shelah at the age of 35. And at the time of Terah, Spirit of God decided that he won't be supporting man to become complete. When Terah was not fathering, the Spirit of God had to involve again, and Terah begat Abram at the age of 70. And God decided that man had to stand on his own. Abram had to father on his own. And Abram was asked to give a sacrifice to God. He was made to sleep deep, and God came down. The Spirit of God came down as a smoking furnace. Some more changes were made in Abram, and he fathered Ismail at the age of 86. Hagar born him Ismail, and God was immensely happy with Abram. God's angel blessed Hagar, saying, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, and it shall not be numbered for multitude. Later on, God blessed Ismail, saying to Abram, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly, so that princes shall be begot, and I will make him a great nation. Today, the Muslims all over the world claim to be descendants of this Ismail. Abram was asked to walk before God to be made perfect at the age of 99. Abram was renamed Abraham, and God made a covenant with him for his descendants and blessed him to be exceedingly fruitful and promised to make nations out of him and to make kings out of him. Circumcision was the key to make man perfect, and Abram was asked to circumcise all males. And Abraham fathered Isaac at the age of 100 years without any assistance. Abraham became the first complete man to father a son without any assistance from God. In Abraham, God was mightily pleased. He was the first complete man. God was confident that mankind could stand on its own legs from the time of Abraham onwards. Abraham fathered Isaac, and Isaac fathered Esau and Jacob. Though Esau was the firstborn, he forfeited the rights of the firstborn to Jacob, and Jacob was made complete when God wrestled with him. Now let's look at Lot. At the time of Lot, the rest of the people in Sodom and Gomorrah, they were all destroyed. Lot's daughters slept with him. An act of incest happened at that time. Now there were 2 sets of people at that time. One, the descendants of the firstborns, descendants of Ismail, Isaac and Lot. And there was the other set, the descendants of Ham and Japheth, who were the other children of Noah, the descendants of the other sons and daughters of Shem, descendants of the sons and daughters of Arphaxad other than Shelah, likewise descendants of the children other than the firstborn still then. Now, the first stage of mankind, infancy, the stage of infancy was over at the time of Noah, and mankind was in the second stage, the childhood stage.